Hello, everyone. Welcome to Style Esports Season 6 Playoffs. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined today by Thousand Eyes, and we have a great match for y'all here today. We are in the bracket finals. We're in round 3 of bracket 5. This is going to be a best of 5 games against the 4th seed Crab Ducks up against the 3rd seed Indiana University East. And we're already pretty deep into picks and bans, and we already have a couple interesting ones. So, Thousand, why don't you run us through a couple of these interesting bans that I've already gone through?
All right, so we got the Hecarim already out, which has been a strong pick, is a very great pick for Ed and Edgy. The Talon is Beyond Plus Ultra's top mid lane pick, so not surprised to see that taken off the board. Super frustrating to play against. The Skarner, Boomstick's top jungler, so both junglers kind of taken off their favorite champs. The Twitch one is interesting because this is not an 80 carry Twitch ban. This is a support Twitch ban being taken away from Cryon. So that one is a bit interesting. He's been spamming the heck out of AP Twitch support. Has not made the most success of it, but it is something that IU East does not want to deal with.
Yeah, for sure. And not to mention, like, is also like a pretty sizable win rate, 68 games, 57% win rate. Not like the most notable thing you notice, but still decent chunk of games with a pretty good win rate.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't count it out too much. Tristana and Alistar and Kaisa are locked in for the first few picks here.
Yeah, this one's interesting. So Kaisa, a lot of people are favoring her a lot, despite the nerfs. I think a bit of it is comfort. The Tristana and Alistar is basically just going to be an all-in win in the early game. Tristana will outdamage the Kaisa in that just kind of all-in type of potential, just negating the Hail of Blades with her own Hail of Blades.
Yeah.
The big thing is late game, this can play against Tristana because the Invis can come into play and Tristana really can't do a whole lot while Kaisa is invisible. But we do have the Yumi alongside it, so that is going to be a very weak lane early on. And both, I think, top laners being picked up here, the Volibear versus the Mundo. The Dr. Mundo can be a flex. Both Baby Horse and Ed and Edgy play that champion in their respective roles. The Volibear, though, has pretty much just been for Darth Reptar. That is a comfort pick. That is a solid top lane pick at the moment. And we are already going through these bans.
Yeah, and it looks just like a lot more kind of comfort bans, obviously, like Alawi and Yasuo. Not really seen too much in kind of high tier play, but when you get down to high gold, low plats, and even lower, you're just gonna get a lot of comfort as king, comfort being king in a lot of these. And we're now finally done with our bans here. I'm still kind of sad about the Diana ban. I always love seeing Diana. Big fan of that champion.
She has been terrorizing solo queue in the higher echelons. If you've been paying attention to that, has not hit professional play yet, but I would not be surprised if she does start popping her head in for some counter picks. Syndra going to be taken as the mid laner here. Basic, hard to counter pick, really solid just all around, and fits into a lot of team comps. I'm surprised the Alawi has been banned. I know that it is what Darth Reptar has played a good bit of, but as we said, the Volibear is something. Actually, no, that is more Boomstick. I got mixed around on the teams. Yeah. So that is most likely a Volibear jungle, but the Alawi, I'm surprised, is banned because it's just not been doing well for Darth Reptar. It's a fairly low win rate pick for him. Kassadin going to be taken now as the response. Important to note, Fleet Footwork has been nerfed for AP users. Kassadin was one of the main users for that, and it helped him survive in lanes like Syndra that can really bully early on despite Kassadin's passive of taking reduced magic damage. So that is going to be tough. Gnar taken as a solid blind pick, and the Camille for the counter pick.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty big pickup here, and what that means is that Dr. Mundo is going into the jungle, which has been shown a lot of success. You know, we saw a few games of Dr. Mundo in the jungle, and you know, it's not a bad pick. Obviously, there are a lot of higher priority junglers But Dr. Mundo does have pretty decent clear times, has some pretty early ganks. All he needs to do is show up and land a cleaver and just kind of walk along with his jungler here, with the laner. So his ganks are pretty good, and then late game he is a very, very solid frontliner. It's very hard to break through all of that healing if you're not itemized correctly, and especially since that Vayne is banned, it's gonna be a lot harder to do so.
Absolutely, and like you said, the Mundo, pretty solid early game in terms of ganking and clearing. The one thing that he does struggle in is clear health. He will get fairly low early on in the jungle. It is why you generally see fleet footwork on the Mundo jungle. Helps him stay alive and not actually just completely die in the jungle, which Volibear has gotten buffed substantially for his clear health. Can possibly invade and look to fight this Mundo early on, which could play a very integral part in the tempo of the game for Crab Ducks. The big thing that I am watching is bot lane. IU East has complete control of that bot lane early on. Level 2 onwards until jungle help comes along, IU East can run train with that lane and do whatever they want.
Yeah, for sure. And it's also really hard to really get any sort of substantial damage for Kai'Sa here very early on, because she's not laning with a very high CC support. Usually when we see Kai'Sa, we see her paired with Alistar, Leona, Thresh even in some cases, because they have so much CC, because they can trigger her passive and then allow her to deal that high amount of burst damage a lot sooner. With Yuumi, it's going to be a lot harder, especially because Yuumi also doesn't really heal as much as, say, like a Soraka maybe in lane. She's much better later and will definitely be helping out the rest of the team later, but you know, certainly not going to be the best laner for this particular character.
Yeah, Yuumi is not a laning support. She can do okay in some matchups, but Alistar is not one of them. The quick engage that Alistar has is really problematic for Yuumi, because she's going to want to pop off, auto attack somebody to get that mana back and get that shield. But Alistar can very quickly headbutt Pulv, knock her up, and then you've got a 5-second time where Yuumi cannot attach to somebody and is very, very vulnerable. So that is really why I'm scared for this bot lane here. There is very little in terms of ability to pressure the Tristana Alistar, and the all-in potential from Tristana and Alistar on those two is very scary. I do want to touch on this top lane though. We've seen Gnar and Camille come around a lot. Is a bit of a skill matchup, but it definitely is Camille favored if both players know what they're doing. The Gnar will try and trade while in mega form, try and get the shield and then back out of the Camille passive. Camille can trade really, really well if she pops the first Q on a minion, waits for it to wait the precision protocol to get into that true damage zone, and then E in on Mini Gnar and hit a huge true damage spike on him and back off. That is the trade pattern that you want to see. If it's played poorly, Gnar can capitalize on it.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, we've seen a lot of matchups where Gnar can just run rampant, and a lot of them are these matchups against melee champions that don't have a lot of strong engage power or even some engage capabilities. Camille really does have that kind of first, she has the adaptive shield, which makes her engages a lot safer, and plus she has a lot of burst damage in order to say, like, okay, you want to trade with me, like I'll deal a bunch of burst damage before you can even get off your 3-hit combo, and even if you do, it's not going to deal as much as you do.
Yeah, it is really, really going to be a bit tough there. Jungle, we already kind of did hit upon. Mid lane, Kassadin versus Syndra. That one is one that is just going to be pretty slow burn unless there's some jungle attention. Syndra should be able to kind of control that wave however she feels she wants to. If that's shove it in, she should be able to do so, especially once the Lost Chapter comes along. But level 6 onwards, Syndra will have a little bit of kill pressure depending on how Empire plays the lane. But generally, Kassadin, not going to worry too much about Syndra. The full-on magic damage with the 15% bonus reduction that Kassadin has
Right.
Really, really solid. Should be able to scale up late. Crabduck's composition as a whole, though, does worry me because Volibear is the only early game they really have. Gnar was picked to be like, okay, well, we have somebody that can generally win in most matchups. They get the one matchup Gnar does not like win substantially. Cassadin is going to be behind in lane. Kaisa and Yubi are going to be behind in lane. This is a late game team comp, but there is no real vehicle to get them into the late game outside of just outplaying their opponents.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. It's just, they need to get off the ground and they need to get going, but like, it doesn't seem like Indiana University East they don't really have that kind of like startup time. It just seems like Tristana is already kind of ready to go and then torpedoes forward and then falls off, whereas Kaisa needs to get a little bit going before she can really
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll be seeing that. I think really bot lane can go haywire very, very quickly, and if that does, I feel like Crabducks just don't really have much they can do to stop it from getting out of control.
Yeah, but with that, we are going to take just a quick break, but when we come back, we are going to be on the rift of Game 1 of Crabducks versus Indiana University East. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are on Summoner's Rift. The Crabducks are on the blue side, and Indiana University East are on the red. And this is going to be a match to remember for sure. Two very strong teams we got going on here. The fourth and the third seed of their bracket now going to see if they could take first place. I'm Shinkariam once again, joined by Thousand Eyes, and the line of scrimmage has been drawn across the map.
Yep, team's just sitting there, and that makes a lot of sense too for Crabducks. Interesting to note, Kyrion has the heal on the Yuumi that is fairly standard when you are in a coordinated environment. The exhaust on the Kaisa will mean that she can dive in the backline, exhaust this Tristana or Syndra, and just kind of win in a 1v1 trade. The heal will be amped. Ooh, solo Q on there. Does hurt early on. Yep. But the heal will be amped by the heal shield power items Yuumi does buy, so that is the most effective way to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
I do also want to make a quick note. Legendary Pleb has opted not to go for the Hail of Blades. I think that actually is the correct call here because you don't want to be fighting early on anyway, and that is when Hail of Blades is at its strongest.
Right. I totally agree. I was going to point that out as well. It is pretty much, I think it's the only real glaring mass big rune here out of all these. Everything else just seems to be pretty standard fare across the board. Obviously, we talked about the fleet footwork for Cassidon just being a little bit less powerful, but still should be just necessary for him because Cassidon at level 1, even just level 6, is not exactly the best champion to have around.
Yeah, so the early game just really needs to be pushed on in this mid lane, and that will open up the opportunity for Volibear to show up. Syndra does kind of suffer from early ganks, does not have any real way to distance herself from any kind of gank, but will be able to just punish this Cassidon pretty hard early on. As you can see, is pulling a little bit away in the farm.
Uh-oh. Looks like we already have a fight here. That's going to be the flash forward. That's going to be the lightning bolt. The first blood already. Picking up by the Volibear. He's also going to grab himself the blue buff and maybe also the Gromp as well. That is huge.
And that's what we talked about, right? The Mundo gets low in the early clear, not super healthy. Volibear got the buffs, has a very effective, healthy clear now. Will be able to pressure Mundo in this early clear and basically make it really hard for Mundo to take his own camps. This is the power of that Volibear, and it's exactly what Crab Ducks needed.
Yeah, and it's also really great, too, because he didn't really have a lot of... Syndra's really forcing this kind of mid lane pressure here. Oh, this might be Boomstick coming in here. That's going to be the knock away, and he's just going to back off after that. Ooh, meanwhile, in the bot lane, that's going to be the jump forward, and the headbutt pulverize has already been landed. The exhaust is coming down. The Ignite is ticking as well. That's going to be flat heal coming down from Tlenko, but it's not going to be enough. Flash, auto attack. The Panda Hitman picking up a kill for himself on the Alistar, 1-for-1 in the bot lane. Meanwhile, on the top, we're going to see Baby Horse dives onto Darth Reptar here. He's going to force the flash away. The Cleaver's not going to land. Baby Horse can't land anymore, so Darth Reptar is going to get away.
Yeah, and this is really great actually for Crab Ducks here. The early game was not supposed to go their way, but the summoners were not baited out beforehand. That is one thing people kind of forget about with Yuumi. You have the extra combat summoners. When you have Yuumi, you don't need to take Flash. You can take the Exhaust and the Ignite and the Heal. So you have all three of those. You go in for the all-in, and despite the Hail of Blades, because the bomb popped while Tristana was exhausted, so much of that damage was just taken down a notch because of exhaust. So that meant that Kai'Sa could get the kill. T-Link was basically just SOL, stuck in there while not doing any damage, and despite it being a 1v1 they got the early kill onto Legendary Pleb versus the Alistar.
Uh-oh, Boomstick's here in the bottom lane as well. That lightning almost killed the Tristana here. The shot from Yuumi might also pick up a kill. It's going to be blocked by the Alistar here. And man, that was a really tense play there.
Absolutely. Boomstick, though.
Yeah, Boomstick looking for more. That's going to be the headbutt pulverize here. They might be able to turn this around. He's going to get stunned up by the Alistar as well. He's already taken a decent chunk of damage, and that fire from Mundo is ticking as well. He's so incredibly low. Yumi's coming for the support. Kai'Sa's coming in for the side. That's going to be a huge kill. A big pickup for Kai'Sa here as just another kill onto the Mundo.
Yeah, Volibear. That was like old Volibear passive. It just did not die. Was just got enough health to survive there, and I thought that Boomstick was gonna die, but quick thinking on Kyrian to get over to his jungler, pop onto him, and make sure that he stayed alive. At Ed and Edgy, once again, just the Mundo clear feels real rough early on, not because of speed, but because of that health, and twice now he's paid the price.
Yeah, and we're really seeing what you need to be doing against the Mundo here. Just pressure as much as possible. Meanwhile, the bot lane, this could be a headbutt pulverize. It's going to be a stun as well. Like there's a lot of follow-up, though.
Yeah, will be a bit tough now. The Tristana is down in farm, is down in kills. So there's going to be a decent amount of time here where this Kai'Sa is actually going to be stronger despite the matchup.
Yeah, and really, we I think I spoke about this a lot, is that Kaisa has a massive power spike once she's able to pick up their mythic items, because they just have so much stats on them that she's able to upgrade one of her abilities a lot sooner than she normally would. And that's, one of the big reasons why she was picked up fairly early on. And, since she's ahead in gold, now we see a noon quiver and a pickaxe as well. That's already 2 of the 3 pieces that they need in order to get that Kraken Slayer online pretty early.
Yeah, is going to be the engage here, though.
Yeah, that's going to be immediately a gauge on the Beyond Plus Ultra, and he's going to go down pretty quickly as well. A lot was spent there. We had the ultimate spent from Volibear, but ultimately a huge pickup. He also used his flash as well, so that's probably going to be Boomstick coming back to the mid lane pretty soon as well.
Yeah, but that's just kind of where this matchup starts to turn around. Empire for Hire has the ultimate, the Riftwalker available, and Syndra not able to get far enough under the tower to stay safe. So Boomstick getting a lot done in this early game.
Yeah, we also saw the Gnar being used by Darth Reptar up on the top there. It was able to be avoided by Camille here, so it doesn't mean that does mean that a gank was thwarted, and also probably saved their life as well. So that's going to be what looks like a reset in the top lane. Yeah, Darth Reptar is just going to shove a wave in and reset. But this is a lot of the early just pressure in the jungle. It's starting to manifest into the lanes. Ooh, excuse me. Volibear hitting level 6 pretty early on, and being able to grab just a few items under his belt means that he is able to do these kinds of things. And especially when waves are pushing in a lot of these lanes, it's a very easy for him to show up and get these ganks off, especially because Volibear has some pretty good early ganks.
Yeah, but top lane Baby Horse is having a good time against this Gnar.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's so much damage. I think Darth Reptar, I said he was going to reset, but it looks like he stayed just for a little bit longer than he probably wanted to. So he's just going to finally back now. And it looks like Trinity Force is going to be the item for Camille. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Empire for Hire. Oh my gosh, that's already a huge amount of damage onto this Syndra here.
Yeah, even in farm, which is not what should be happening right now, and this Syndra really cannot do a whole lot now. This with the presence of mind, Empire for Hire can kind of just go hard onto this Syndra, play super aggressive, has the teleport, so even if a bad trade does come, can TP back into the lane and be ready for a fight. This is Crab Ducks are kind of just running this game for right now.
Yeah, and it's odd because we talked about just a lot of champions that might need to scale, but definitely come online a little bit earlier for Indiana University here. But we're kind of seeing the exact opposite in the way that this game is being played right now. This Kaisa definitely has a huge advantage on top of Tristana here, going to force the knockaway as well. And now they're trying to turn it around as best they can. That's going to be the ignite, but it's not going to be enough to save him. But here comes, the mega slam. Come on and slam. Welcome to the jam. Boomsticks in the bot lane, going to pick up a kill for himself. And meanwhile, that's the Hextech ultimatum in the top lane. Darth Reptar can't back away from this. But Baby Horse doesn't look like he's going to have the cooldowns in order to follow up. It's going to be a 1-for-0 in the bot lane. Boomstick coming in clutch, a 1-for-1 rather. And a Hitman looking for just a little bit more punishment onto the bear here. Doesn't look like he does a whole lot of damage, so it doesn't look like he's going to be able to punish him too much.
Yeah, Boomstick coming down, just stomping on this Tristana. Does get the kill, though, crucially, because Legendary Pleb went in on that W that hit. Not what you want to do when you're that close to the tower. Alistar just got the easy headbutt in under the tower, and Tilank, despite the exhaust, was able to do the job with the help of the tower.
Yeah, just a very well played team fight here. But ooh, while we weren't looking, looks like the red team was able to secure a Rift Herald, pick up the top lane turret. So now Camille is kind of unlocked to kind of go to a different lane if she wants. Obviously she can go down and help out Syndra on the bot lane or in the mid lane rather, if she really wants, but that is going to be a pretty big unlock there on the top lane.
Yeah, right now we're looking everything is starting to calm down a little bit as we are waiting for the next dragon. Will be up in about 10 seconds. T-Link has to be a little careful here. Yeah,
Yeah, this
that
is
is
definitely.
damage
Yeah, that was just. I believe that was just like an auto attack, and I think a Q.
from
Pretty
Yumi
early? Yeah,
as
yeah, yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, that's just so much damage. Oh, my. Oh, no!
Oh,
Slenko just taken incredibly low here, and that's going to be the root onto Alistar here. Baby Horse is on the bottom here. Legendary Pleb is already very low. That's going to be the backflip kill. Ed and Edgy is now in from the side here. They're not going to be able to find the free cap, but Beyond Plus Ultra is here as well. Panda Hitman taken very low, and he's going to find a Rampage for Boomstick here. They're trying to find the kill on a Cassidon here. He's so incredibly low. Ed and Edgy forced to back away, but that's going to be the Syndra ultimate picking up the kill on a Cassidon. Gnar is coming in from the side here, and that's going to be very, very sticky if they stick around for too long. Boomstick is now looking for something. That's going to be the hop, but he's going to be mashed away here. Here comes the Hoops. Oh, no, he's coming. He's going to get the shield. He's going to get away. Yumi's going to get a little bit more chip damage. They're not going to be able to find the kill, but this might be blue team looking to start up the dragon.
yeah, and crucially, that one kill did go on to the Alistar instead of the Camille. Would have loved to see Camille getting that, but unfortunately did not. And T-Link has been able to respawn. Teleport coming in now for Cassidon, so this dragon should be fairly easy for Crab Ducks to get.
Yes. Crab Ducks, I mean, I don't think anyone could say that 10 times fast. Crab Ducks.
Crab Ducks.
No,
It's not hard. It's just I blanked on the name.
No.
Name.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. You just gotta own it. They're. It's their fault. It's not our fault. It can't be our fault. It's never our fault.
True.
We didn't misspeak. Your name is just too hard to pronounce. Oh,
anyway, we do have.
Anyway.
Mundo popping the sadism in the mid lane there, not gonna do much because it is Cassidon.
Yeah.
So we'll just rift walk away.
Real slippery customer.
Yeah, but that whole fight was just pretty wild. Good on Peon plus Ultra to get in there and get the kill, and just kind of like slip in unnoticed. I think, honestly, these ults from Legendary Pleb have been a little bit too aggro, have gotten the team caught into some bad situations, and that can really come in more importantly in the late game as those death timers get longer and longer.
Yeah, for sure. And not to mention, Kaisa is a very kind of coin flippy kind of character. You know, you don't really have, the Alistar to kind of back you up. You're just kind of having to rely on Volibear and Cassidon here to be your and Gnar sometimes to be there to protect you when you dive in real deep, and especially against a Mundo, against an Alistar, against a Camille, against all these champions that can very easily punish you for diving in too deep. It is going to be very hard. It's going to be the headbutt on the Boomstick here. Ooh, Beyond Plus Ultra coming in from the side here as well. They might be able to find the stun, but they're going to use the ultimate in order to jump over the wall. That's pretty big.
Yeah, is decent length, about 100 seconds, so will be a bit of time while that's down. The Alistar ultimate was also popped, but meanwhile...
Oh yeah, Boomstick is going to get caught out here, but here comes Empire for Hire in from the side. He's going to pop the Everfrost here, looking for a little bit more damage. Here comes Kaisa, though. That's a big ton of damage, but now all 5 members of the red team are here. It's a 5v4, and now the Yumi ultimate comes across. They're going to be able to find the root. It's good. Here comes Tristana over the wall. The Hextech ultimatum is going to stun up Legendary Pleb here. Carrion's got nowhere to go. This cat's free to a good home, and that good home is in hell, as they're going to pick up the kill, and a 4-0 in the bot lane jungle.
Yeah, very, very aggro. Once again, the Kaisa ulting in, but not having the damage to blow somebody up and get out, which means that that Camille and that Tristana are really, really going to be problems for her. Gnar did not get into the fight, teleported down, was ready to go Mega Form and pop in there, but did not have a good avenue to do so safely, and ultimately did just back out. So the the early engage from Boomstick onto the Mundo. They tried to pump damage into him, but Boomstick just took so much in return that by the time the rest of the team on both sides showed up, it was an easy win for Indiana University.
Yeah, for sure. And we're starting to see mythic items finally fill the pockets of our players here. Trinity Force for Camille. We have a Frostfire Gauntlet for Mundo. Luden's Tempest for Camille. Kraken Slayer for the Tristana here. All pretty standard fare across the board here. This might also be a pretty easy to pick up Rift Herald here. Going to go on a Boomstick. And I would guess that they'd throw that into either top lane because it's still pretty healthy, or into either bot or mid if they're looking for a second turret.
Yeah, I'd really like to see it used on one of those low turret areas while they get the turret, just to really just crack open that lane super hard. I think that's the best option they have. The question is, they have to be able to win a fight to be able to do that. And so far, they've been taking these skirmishes that have been just a little bit too deep and with just not enough backup. And they've kind of squandered their lead a little bit. That said, they do scale fairly well, and it is going to be very important for them to keep scaling and get this Kassadin into the late game hyper scaling god that he is.
Yeah, for sure. And we do see both teams kind of posturing around the dragon here. Gnar is in the top lane, doesn't have teleport, so he's probably going to try to grab this turret and then immediately back would be my guess as to what he's doing so we can participate in this dragon fight. It is a Cloud Drake, so it does mean they do get a bit of ultimate cooldown ability haste. Huh. Well, I guess it is a pretty fair Drake to give up, right?
Yeah, it is only the second dragon for Indiana University, Empire for Hire. One thing that Empire for Hire does have to be wary of is the Camille ultimate. Hextech Ultimatum will mean that slipperiness is going to be just very, very neutered. I feel like this is a little bit of a poor use of the Rift Herald there. That tower was probably going to go down regardless. But will just be used to get that and back. And now we'll see. I like the tempo that they're getting off of this, but I feel like they could have gotten the tower, then used it, and still had that tempo.
Ooh, gank onto Empire for Hire here. That's 2 jumps in the Hextech Ultimatum as well. Baby Horse going to go on a killing spree as they pick up the kill onto the Kassadin here. But now I wonder what they're going to do with that opened. It doesn't seem like they have a whole lot of things to do here on this map with Kassadin.
Yeah, they can't still push in because it is just too scary to walk into this Kaisa. The wave clear isn't there. Panda Hitman having to run away, but yeah, Neji just gonna pop in, say hello, goodbye, and it is just gonna be the kill and nothing else gained.
Yeah, it seems odd that they're not kind of jockeying for more pressure onto this bot lane turret. It is the only outer left, and it's still a decent chunk of gold in their pockets, but it seems like they're just kind of retreating for their own jungle here to try to farm up and get a little bit more gold for themselves.
I mean, at the time of the kill, there was not really a push in that bot side. There was there was nobody down there to push safely. It was kind of just, they got the kill, but they just really did not have much to do with it. Also interesting to note, the first item finished by Yuumi is the Staff of Flowing Water, not the Moonstone. I'm really surprised by this because Yuumi can just, especially post level 11 where Yuumi does have no cooldown on the pop off and pop on, that is absurdly powerful because you could just keep bouncing around, putting Aerie on people in combat, and just healing them all throughout the fight. It is really, really strong and obnoxious, so I'm really surprised at how much they're really putting into this Kassadin specifically. That is a lot that they are really just saying, you are going to carry the game.
Yeah. I mean, at this stage, he probably is getting closer to that point where he is the highest damage on their team. I mean, he is still behind in gold here, but I think the later that this game goes on, we are hitting about the 25-minute mark. We are getting closer and closer to this 25-minute mark, kind of like the first big kind of starting point to the late game. You know, we're getting to this point where Kassadin needs to carry. because if Kaisa can't, then Kassadin absolutely has to.
Yeah, it'll be useful on everybody. The move speed is just nice in general, but Boomstick.
Ooh, yeah, Boomstick might have found out Beyond Plus Ultra here, forced to flash away, and that's actually a pretty big summoner there for whatever next team fight pops up. But it doesn't look like any team is looking to fight anytime soon. Like, we even saw at the last Dragon, they didn't really want to fight there either. And no, I think we've gone a decent chunk of time without a kill going in either way. You know, the only real kill we had was in that Death Brush, and that was, or rather the gank in the mid lane there. That was about it. Like, everything else has been kind of just walking around, and everyone has a for some reason, there's some gentleman's agreement going around. There's a gentleman's agreement going around saying that we're not going to team fight.
Yeah, I mean, okay. There is Dragon coming up in about a minute. That is going to be, if Indiana University get that, that will put them on Soul Point. So that is one to keep an eye on. But that said, yeah, like it has been fairly quiet right now. This does favor Crab Ducks. They've got the late scaling options here. And we'll have to see how this plays out, because I feel like they could just say, okay, fine, you get a third dragon, whatever. Like, we're going to keep farming. We're going to keep just stalling out this game as long as possible. Get Kassadin to level 16, fully stacked mana item, and just let him go off. Because this Mundo, while right now he's really, really strong, as these items that are going to reduce his healing start getting completed, and you get that 60% grievous wounds, that is really, really, really going to be a problem for him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's already 2 grievous wounds items on Kassadin and Kaisa here, and
yeah, they're giving this
more powerful. Yep. Yeah,
oh, they're going to try and do the Baron in the meantime, and they yeah, Indiana knows this.
Yeah,
they're going up to try and check it.
Yeah. Which means they immediately have to peel away, which means that they weren't really able to contest here. They did see 3 members go, so maybe Gnar can do something here, but Edit and Edgy does have Smite, so...
No, I can't.
Yeah. I at least like to give them the benefit of the doubt, 1000. Come on. Cut them some slack. He could throw in a boomerang and, like, steal it, maybe. Ooh, but that is going to be Beyond Plus Ultra taking down here. That's a huge shutdown for Legendary Pleb here.
That is the consequences of not having that flash up. Volibear using the flash immediately, knowing that the Syndra is still flashless, getting on her and saying like, well, you've got nowhere to go. You've got 3 people that are immediately on top of you, and that will signal the Baron call for the 4v5.
Yeah, that is a very powerful damage source now gone, but the red team is here. See if they can answer something. Edit and Edgy still waiting on the edge here. That's going to be Gnar jumping in. That's going to be Gnar. Is going to stun up Mundo on the side of the wall here. That's going to be the Yuumi ultimate as well. The blue team is going to secure Baron Nashor. That flash forward is going to smell your death, but if you not Baron Nashor, that's going to be the second ultimatum coming down as well. And a shutdown onto Camille, a 2-for-0. And they've lost Baron as well. Tlenko might be the next to fall here. That's going to be the flash. That's going to stun. The headbutt is not enough to save him. The Frostfire comes across. He's still very low. That's going to be the slam. He's going to turn off the turret. Panda Hitman is still alive by just the skin of his teeth. And that's going to be still a 4-for-0. And Baron buff going over to Crab Ducks.
Yeah, a good call on them to go for the Baron. I was kind of surprised Boomstick went deep into that fight while the Baron was getting low, ended up having to run back over to the Baron to smite it for health, which is why Kaisa ended up getting the kill on the Baron. Importantly, though, we still got to fight.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be Headbutt Pulverized, and oh, man, that's going to be Syndra Ultimate immediately taking down Kaisa. Going to get that revenge kill there. Boomstick is now the target. He's trying to slow him down as much as they can. Can the bear get away? He's used the plant, but he can't get away from the life-legged lady. He's going to go down right afterwards. That's a 2-for-0, and they protect their inhibitor turret for just a little bit longer.
The overstay there, that is the time where you back off and reset, spend that extra gold that you got, and they did not use that. They tried to keep pushing despite the fact that the death timers are not that long yet. They're fairly short at this point in the game. That was an early Baron. That will give tempo back over, at least for a little bit, to Indiana University now. So that is a great turnaround there. Just way overextending, trying to push things they were not able to push for Crab Ducks.
Yeah, for sure. And we finally do see mythic items come out for the supports here. Obviously, Iron Locket Solari for the Alistar here, and finally the Moonstone Renewer for the Yumi as well. Pretty standard fare, but you know, they took a little while longer to build it because be nice to your supports. They're on welfare.
Yeah, we've got Dragon coming up at about 2 minutes. The Baron will be gone by that point. You can see they weren't really able to do much at all with the Baron. They got the 1 tower, and that was it. So, really unfortunate there, but that is the consequences when you try and stretch your lead a little bit too far.
Yeah. Usually we see teams try to look for a 1-3-1 in that instance, but they didn't have a whole lot of waves pushing in their favor. Obviously, it would give the opposing team a lot of time to defend if they were to do so. So, you know, trying to use the best that they could with at the moment, but they definitely got a little too greedy after they were able to take out Tristana and I believe Syndra as well, or it was Mundo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to point this out now. The Void Staff is the second item on this Syndra. Do not like that at all. I don't think that's good, because you look at the team, the highest magic resistance person on Crab Duck's team is the Volibear at 75.
Yep.
That is not a lot. You are not getting a lot of value out of that item. You are kind of wasting your gold. There's a lot of health, but what you need for health is something like the Demon Helm. Yeah. Yeah, but they're gonna try and trade this inhibitor for the soul.
Yeah, it's really interesting. During all that time they were chasing Kassadin, they'd had 0 time on the dragon, so now they get to pick up this tower for maybe free, but Empire for Hire goes golden here. The Yumi ultimate is coming across. Baby Horse is going to go down, and now they're looking for the kill on Empire, but he's going to go down as well. Volibear is big, and now they're going to try to get this next kill here. 3 members of the blue team are up. The Chilling Smite has come across. They're looking for the kill on a Boomstick here. He doesn't have his ultimate to get away from this, and he can't find a Blast Cone anywhere. Ed Edgy needs to keep landing these cleavers. He's missed another one. That might be the way for Boomstick to get out, because now that Dead Man's Plate is fully stacked. But with 4 members of the red team, they might look to either force a team fight here or get this dragon. Blue team looks to want to contest here. That Mega Gnar is still pretty big here. That's a huge amount of damage on a Boomstick already, but they're trying to turn it around. That's going to be the Gnar knocking Klenko into the wall here, and they're looking for the trying to turn it around. That's going to be a huge chunk of damage. Can he get the last bit? Gnar is still alive. He's going to look for the little boomerang heads. Can he find it? He's going to be able to find the shutdown. Now he's kiting as best as he can. Oh no. Okay, here comes the teleport in from Camille here. They might be able to find something. Oh no, the teleport is coming in from Cassid as well. You're going to have to kill Darth Reptar right now, buddy. Baby Horse going to be able to find the shutdown here, and now they're gonna kill the cat. They're gonna get the double kill here. They're looking for the kill, but they're not gonna be able to find it with the grappling hook not landing exactly as they want it. Kaisa is now here to join this extended fight, but he's going to back away now as this Dragon Soul does finally go over to Indiana University East.
They tried to stall it out as long as possible. Gnar and Yumi just kiting them out for so long, but unfortunately just barely not able to get enough time there. Almost get the inhibitor mid as well. Yumi crucially getting hit by crowd control there, so she could not pop on to Kassadin. Empire for Hire showed up a little bit too late, and Yumi could not get over to him safely. So that will be a very crucial dragon pickup now for Indiana University after what was just such a long, extended 1v3 consistent fight.
Yeah. And what's got to be more valuable for them here is it's got to be the plus 36 ultimate ability haste here, especially because there is a decent chunk of cooldown reduction.
I mean,
yeah.
There's also the Mundo popping ult and running at you at the speed of sound. Like between Mundo and Ali, like Alistar gets a free extra phase rush by popping his ult essentially. That is, keep in mind, it is 50% bonus on the Cloud Soul. It is a very strong movement speed boost.
Yeah, looks like, oh, this is going to be the start of the fight, though. That's already a huge chunk of burst damage on a Volibear already. The Yuumi ultimate has come across, is going to be able to find the kill on a Tristana, but they're still tanking up Baron, but Baron is still alive here and throwing out damage onto the red team, who've already very, very low. The blue team is going to be able to find all 5 of them, and only for 1 death in response, and they're going to pick up the Baron for themselves. This is their 2nd Baron of the game.
Yeah, they got onto Boomstick, blew him up, which was very, very important. However, they neglected the fact that Baron was a 5th member on Crabduck's team, so was still outputting damage, still doing a lot. And this is going to be 2 inhibitors going down now with this Baron. The Hextech ultimatum once again got onto Empire for Hire, forced them basically to just stick in that fight, but they were not on the same page. It was only the Camille hitting Kassadin, and he was able to survive between the Yuumi and the rest of the damage going on to other members.
Yeah, and it's really hard to kind of do that call there, especially with all 5 members of the blue team up. Like, it was a pretty risky call. They were looking, maybe they were trying to start a team fight, maybe force something, but when Alistar immediately went in, it didn't seem like they had the rest of the team there to kind of follow through and call out what targets they were going for.
Yeah, mixed calls there, and unfortunately just not on the same page. That will cost you every single time, especially now Kassadin has the level 16, has the ultimate on, what is it now, a 1.43 second cooldown. That's pretty good. That is what the kids say. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good, as the kids say. We are kids. Hello, fellow kids. I say as I hold my skateboard behind my head and I turn my cap backwards and I wear an unzipped hoodie over my t-shirt. And I look like Steve Buscemi.
You are really stretching this joke out, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm real. I mean, do you got something better? Do you want to?
No, but I know when not to.
Yeah, okay. Empire for Hire, you're diving in a little too deep. They're just going to blow on this top turret here and get it to fall down. And now the siege is starting in the top side here. Camille is finally starting to join, but the red team does need to know when to back off here, because they do have supers pushing into their base from the bot side here.
Yeah, and this is all that Crabducks need to do right now. They just need to keep pushing on this top side while the rest of the minions go. I think you could send Empire for Hire down into that bottom or mid side to keep the push going and have that TP ready to go. Looking at summoners, all the summoners are available now for Indiana University. Only the exhaust and the TP down on the side of Crabducks.
Yeah, they do have some good tools here, but I think they're just going to hang back, because that Baron buff does give you a decent chunk of stats, and they are down about 5,000 gold, a little bit more than that. It's going to be really hard to win a team fight, even with a turret there.
Yeah, the sadism already popped now. Ed and Edgy healing up, but not going to have that in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, and it's just going to be them jockeying back and forth here, not really finding a good intro into this turret here. So it's gonna back away. They did get a decent chunk of damage. It is nearly dead, but it's not a whole lot. It looks like they're looking for the Elder Drake maybe right here.
Yeah, and I think that's fine. The amount of burst damage that they have in this team comp will allow that Elder Dragon to be really impactful. They just got to get people low instead of just getting them low and letting them run away. They will just die. An actual one shot coming in from Kassadin.
Yep.
Especially if Yuumi is on, because remember, Yuumi gives extra ability power and attack damage, gives adaptive force. Yep. On who she's on, and at this point she is putting levels into that W, which makes it stronger.
Oh, here comes the slamming from Volibear, but he's pretty far forward here. Panda Hitman is on the back end as well. He's trying to pressure down the pleb here, but he does have grievous wounds. It's going to be very hard. The Alistar finally goes down. Head and Edgy looks like he's the next target here, as Volibear does finally go down to the carries on the backside here. and now they're looking to try to engage, but the legendary pleb is just so close. And now here comes the X-Tech ultimatum as well. And on the backline, Empire for Hire is going to be able to find the kill on Amundo here. That's going to be a double kill for the Kassadin. Tristan is the only member left. That's going to be a triple kill. Syndra is now the only member left, and they're teleporting directly into the base.
Oh, they're teleporting on different sides, though. One going mid, one going top. They're trying to end this game right now. Kassadin was just free to do as he pleased, and he will continue to do so.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for Beyond Plus Ultra to get here. Oh, no, that's so much damage. That's going to be Ace. That's going to be Empire for Hire picking up, and that might also be the game one going over to Crab Ducks.
Yeah, I mean, Kassadin is a good champ late game.
Yep, turns out. All right, Alistar's trying their best. Never surrender. I like your gumption. I like the cut of your jib, but it's not going to be enough. This game goes over to Crab Ducks.
Yeah, 1-0 in the series. Best of 5, though, so there is a lot of time to come back. I'd like to see maybe a little bit of change up in terms of this bottom lane. I don't feel like the bot lane was prepared on how to deal with a Yuumi Kai'Sa. Indiana University kind of just tried to all in without baiting out those summoners, tried to utilize everything at the same time when the summoners were just adding so much, and that bot lane getting ahead early was so crucial in allowing for Boomstick to have control of the jungle, be able to run this Mundo out of his own jungle, and then Kassadin just was kind of free to do what he wanted because there was no worry of early Mundo ganks.
Yeah, and it was odd that we saw just so, because Boomstick was in Ed and Neji's kind of jungle in that early game, it was really hard for him to really find footing and really should be a presence in these lanes, which he kind of needed to do for Kai'Sa and Kassadin, or against them rather, and be able to make sure that his team maintains the lead that they had in this early game. Because this game went on for so long, because there was a lot of free farming that was happening, that Kassadin and Kai'Sa were able to scale up and get ahead of both Blanco and Beyond Plus Ultra.
Yeah, unfortunately, they got behind in that early game, and that is a cardinal sin against late game scaling compositions. Yep. We talked about how that Hail of Blades was not going to scale as well as the Press the Attack, and Kai'Sa really just slotted into that late game and got thrown a bunch of extra gold in the early game, and it just basically turned into what you saw.
Yeah, for sure. But with that, we are going to take just a quick break. But when we come back, we are going to be in picks and bans of Crab Ducks versus Indiana University East Game 2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports Season 6. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined once again by Thousand Eyes, and we are here to bring you picks and bans of Game 2. Crab Ducks versus Indiana University East. They have swapped sides, so Indiana University is on the blue side, whereas Crab Ducks are on the red. And already we're seeing some bans coming out about stuff we saw in the last game.
Yeah, we are gonna get in here. I did not have the link open. I am a fool. Yeah, the Yumi being taken away, not surprising. I think that was a huge problem for IU East. They just did not know how to handle that, especially like one of the really key points was when Yumi hopped onto that Volibear to get him out of a bad situation. That really snowballed the game in favor of Crab Ducks, because they just, all of that was blown into somebody who got away. Here we go. This is what I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Jinx has been rising in priority. I think she is super duper strong. Are we gonna do it? Are we gonna get it?
Oh, we getting it?
Tell me we're gonna get it.
Oh my god.
I'm actually really excited. So Kyrian has been playing AP Twitch support non-stop in solo queue and has had a good amount of success with it. It is seemingly a risky pick. No, they baited us. All right. For the Soraka instead.
Boo!
I like this run back though. Crab Duck's basically saying, okay, we can't have Yumi, we're gonna take the next best thing.
Yeah. Soraka has seen some changes recently. Not enough to propel her into broken status, but definitely had some changes on her W, as well as a bit of the movement speed on her Starfall as well, but is going to be punished by Brand here. That's interesting.
Yeah, so this can go one of two ways. This is a very flip-flop matchup, so it kind of depends on who gets a lead first, because they snowball that lead very hard. That is kind of just a Soraka thing, because when she gets hit by stuff, her ability to heal also goes down. However, if she's constantly hitting Qs, she lowers the health of the enemy. She can play more aggressive because she's very healthy and her opponent is very not healthy. I'll be interested to see the general leveling in Soraka play is to get 3 points in the Q before the ultimate, because it gives you a lot of lane pressure, and then you start maxing the heal as team fights start happening.
Right. We do see a Wukong coming out from IU East here. Certainly an interesting pick, not one you see very often, and it's not really in Darth Reptar's repertoire here. So it should be interesting to see why Wukong was blind picked even in the top lane here. I guess he didn't want to select a jungler or a mid laner quite yet.
Possibly. That will mean the Mordekaiser does come as the counter pick there. I will be perfectly honest, I don't know entirely how this matchup works out. I would assume Wukong wins it in the very early game, and then Mordekaiser, as he starts to get a little beefier, will become a problem. Wukong still has the Cyclone, still very strong with that, but will be a little bit weaker in terms of the 1v1.
Yeah.
That said, though, we've got the Zac ban, taking that away from Crab Ducks, a really solid form of engage. The Diana, once again, not getting let through.
This is a champion that is they're really trying to shut down any sort of like very hard engage that the Crab Ducks have here. Really wanting to kind of either pull the trigger themselves for IU East, or at least just trying to stand backwards. And with all these heavy engaged champions being banned away, Jarvan is now on the table, or Gragas. I guess either works.
Yeah, they do exactly the opposite things. You know? Jarvan locks you into place, Gragas splits you up.
Yeah.
Why would you not think they're exactly the same?
One is a very large man. The other one is a twunk. I mean.
Okay. Anyway, we've got East coming in. Going back with the Mundo, I'm just gonna ignore my play-by-play for the rest of the night, as we are gonna see the mid lane have to be blind pick here. The Kassadin is available once again, and that talent cannot be taken by IU East, so they need to be able to pick something that can handle a Kassadin, and Yone is definitely one of them.
Yeah, Yone's a very powerful pick. Also, there's a whole lot of AoE CC from IU East here, and lining that up with a brand ultimate, especially Yone's ultimate, that, excuse me, gathers everyone up, should be very, very powerful.
Absolutely, but they're not going to take the Cassidin, obviously, so they're going
Ooh.
to take the Viego. This one has been in Empire for Hire's play pool, so I'm not surprised about that. It also works really well because they were going very heavy AP, with Jinx being their only AD source of damage. I like this Viego pickup. It is going to be solid into the Yone. The stun, very, very potent against somebody as squishy as Yone, and really everybody on that team. The Wukong and the Mundo being the beefiest members on IU East's side.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a mostly squishy comp, Viego becomes that much more powerful because he's not usually building lethality like you would expect an assassin to do. He's building a lot of attack speed. He's building Kraken Slayer. He's building Blade of the Moon King.
I basically would describe Viego as today's Master Yi. That is kind of what he functions as. He is a carry in the sense that he will run you down, auto attack you a bunch, use his spells to just kind of like close distance or, add to his damage, and then he just resets and keeps going off and off.
Yep. And it's really important to note that if Viego gets ahead, he's very, very hard to kill in team fights. And once he gets a kill, he becomes invulnerable as he goes from one character to the next. And while you think you can get like a little bit of damage off in the here and there, and like his health does progress through each thing, but he does get more. He does get the initiative once he goes from one to the other. So it is important to note that during team fights.
Yeah, and one champion you do have to keep an eye on him getting is the Kaisa. Yone obviously will be very good as well. Remember that while Viego does transform into his opponent, he still keeps his Q passive, which is essentially Blade of the Ruin King's passive, of the extra damage, the more health that they have. So he will basically be able to utilize Kaisa passive as well as his own passive.
Yeah.
At the same time, and that can be really, really disgusting. He also takes the items, so it is not like he is if he is behind, grabbing somebody who is super fed as they die can be a huge fight turner.
Yeah, for sure. And it's weird because sometimes if you are ahead and Viego is able to get a pretty sneaky kill here and there, it does mean that you now have to deal with this 5v4 that is incredibly powerful, that kind of turns itself on its head. And there, like you said, a lot of good targets for him to be picking up here. Even I don't even hate the Mundo pickup here. I think Mundo has a pretty decent attack speed that he can land that 3 auto attacks pretty safely as well if Viego is able to take over Dr. Mundo.
Yeah, he also can reset the auto attack with the E. Mundo is capable of doing that. I mean, really, the big thing that I'm always worried about is, just like Master Yi, Viego is exceedingly item dependent. When Viego falls behind, he becomes very useless outside of maybe getting, the 1 or 2, pop in like, ooh, I got something out of that. When he falls behind, he very, very much falls behind and is not going to contribute a whole lot. And that is also true for the Jinx. So if Jinx and Viego do not do much, and do not get going early on, it is going to cause a problem for Crab Ducks going into the mid game, because the Kaisa is going to naturally scale. Wukong is a monster in the mid game. Yone is, once he gets an item or two, he's unstoppable.
Right. And this is going to be like very, very hard. They've picked a very strong team that kind of gets ahead fairly early, and we need to see just more pressure from them from what we saw in the previous game. And, they picked a lot of champions that scale a lot earlier than their opponents, but they weren't able to truly apply the pressure that they wanted to early on enough. And that slowed down the game and gave Crab Ducks the opportunity to scale and get into this late game. And this is another late game composition that they've drafted.
Yeah, absolutely. It is more what I would say as a snowball composition. Crab Ducks basically just hoping either the Viego or the Jinx get ahead, and they just ride that win all the way to the Nexus. On the other side, though, you have a much stronger early game now. You have a much stronger poke early game for Tilenko and Panda Hitman. Obviously, the Kaisa now going to be on Tilenko, and the brand is going to be really, really annoying. I believe the brand should be able to outrange the Soraka, which will cause problems early on in the lane. But like I said before, if Kyrian can get those early Qs down, lower the health of the brand, and stay healthy, that lane can very quickly change around because Jinx will also quickly outrange the Kaisa.
Yeah, I totally agree. But with that, we are going to take just a quick break. But when we come back, we are going to be on the Rift for Crab Ducks versus Indiana University East Game 2. Don't go anywhere. This is a real important match. You don't want to miss it. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports. We are on the Rift of Game 2 of the Crab Ducks versus Indiana University East. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined once again by Thousand Eyes, and the lines of scrimmage have been drawn across the river.
Yeah, once again, looking at more of the same of a start here. But overall, some of these lane matchups have changed a bit. Ed and Edgy once again going on that Mundo, but Boomstick not going to have anywhere near the same amount of kill pressure on this Gragas. We'll be going for an AP Gragas build as denoted by the Dark Harvest, but ultimately will be a bit more weak in the early game, not going to have the chase down and blow up potential that we saw in game 1.
Yeah, for sure. And it's also going to be important because he can't turret dive as heavy as he did before. Obviously, post level 6, Volley Bear. Oh, I mean, that's just BM. That's just BM, just not waiting for your other person to be positioned on the blast cone just right. You hate to see it.
Yeah, but we'll just be the normal start here. Both jugglers starting on the bot side. So going to be seeing more of the same mirrored jungle pathing here. I would expect Mundo is actually going to clear a little bit faster, but will still once again be a little bit low health.
I don't think we talked about it too much, but what do you think about this Yone versus Viego in the mid lane?
Yeah, so this one is going to be very Figo favored early on. Yone not super great in the early levels without items, but yeah, as you see, there is the
Yeesh.
early game power that Viego has. But once an item or two comes in, unless Viego is already super fed, Yone is going to become an issue because the healing is just going to be way too much compared to Viego, and the amount of or the capability of the poke as the with the W and the E being able to get in and get out a lot easier. That is going to be a problem for Viego to handle.
Yeah, and usually when we see these kind of early game matchups, like the best thing for a mid laner to do is to pick up either an Emerald Circlet or a Seeker's Arm Guard, but you can't really do that in this case. There's no real item that has AD and armor and then scales up like those items do. So we'll have to see how that lane plays out. As meanwhile in the bot lane, that's a whole lot of damage being thrown around.
Yeah, and it is just always going to favor this Soraka here, because as you can see, hitting those Qs, you get that health back, and you become that health battery that is so hard to deal with if you fall behind in these poke lanes.
Yeah, and usually post level 2, we see brands just playing a lot more aggressive. Usually they'll be maxing Pillar of Flame and looking for those stuns as often as possible, trying to proc that passive post level 3. I mean, this is just going to be usually for healers like Soraka, it's usually a bully lane in favor of brand.
Absolutely, yeah. It is just when you give that pressure to the Soraka, it quickly gets out of hand. There's the stun.
Yeah, Edda and Edgy's coming in from the sides here. Kyrian forced to proc that shield there. They're going to use barrier as well. They're going to be taken very low, but they're going to be forced to back away. As Boomstick is coming in for the side. He's already channeled his drink here. Let's see if he's able to find it, but there's so many minions in the way. There's the body slam. There's the flash. There's the barrel.
Nice.
Not going to be able to find the kill, but Boomstick is taken very low. Let's see if they're able to turn this around. Edda and Edgy was able to land a cleaver, but it looks like they're just going to back away here. There's a couple of summoners spent across the board. Heal and barrier on the red side. Heal and flash on the blue, but that flash is pretty big.
Yeah, Tilango getting really far forward there, getting a lot of damage on the Soraka, but once again, the barrier and the heal, the summoner spells coming in clutch in the early game there, but this time it is working out in favor of oh my goodness, why do I keep blanking on Crabduck's name? It is just really, it is, I don't know why, it just does not want to stick in my head. But Crabduck's, yeah, once again, getting ahead here. Early Executioner's calling, great pickup here. Not just because of Soraka, but also you've got Gragas, you have the Jinx with the Conqueror. Viego is going to be getting healing early on, as already noted by the Vampiric Scepter. So this is going to be a great pickup that is going to help them as the game goes further and further. Reptar is just running this top lane. Look at the CS difference here.
Yeah, it's insane. I think we talked a little bit saying that we thought that this matchup would be Wukong favored, just because AD does have a little bit better time earlier than AD does, or AP does. But now we're just seeing Mordekaiser just running rampant in that top lane, just really not being able to be contested in a lot of these trades here.
Yeah, and that will happen with Mordekaiser if you give him the opportunity early on. It is very much a matchup that he, just pretty much every matchup with Mordekaiser, you get to a point where if somebody gets low, you can just constantly use your W to heal up and keep your health topped off. So every trade you get for, you go in for, is going to work out favorably for you, and they stay low health consistently.
Yeah, and it's just one, and not to mention, like, Mordekaiser does have a decent chunk of resistances. Are they going to sneak the dragon? Oh,
no,
they can't sneak it now.
No, that's not what I'm waiting about.
Okay.
Look at what Wukong is building, and look at the keystone. Is this tank Wukong?
Is this tank Wukong? I mean, we have seen it in the past. He does have He does have some CC to his name. It could very much be. I mean, could be a stride breaker. We don't know, but yeah, I mean, it could be. I need to take a look at the runes now.
That is not something that I have seen personally, and does not seem like it would be terribly great or effective.
Yeah, he does have overgrowth and conditioning, so it could actually be a tank Wukong here. He does also have the tenacity bloodline as well.
Yeah, this very much signals to me like you would not be getting two health crystals early if you were not going for that Bomby Cinder, and that is just
Yeah, that's
don't like that. Do not like that very much.
I mean, ooh, okay. Boomstick coming in from the side here. There's the explosive cast. It's going to throw Brand into the middle of the team here, and that's going to be first blood going over to the legendary Pleb.
Yeah, and that was just a full-on combo there as we got to fight.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be the ultimate. Oh, no. Okay, so I think that maybe he was trying to get the kill and then go invulnerable and go underneath, lose turret aggro, and then maybe be able to walk away. But
you keep turret aggro while you're transforming. So unfortunately, would not work out. Still does favor Viego though, because the wave was crashing. So a little bit more favorable for Viego. And like we said, Viego needs items in order to do his job.
Yeah, Ed and Edgy popping that sadism in the bot lane, trying to find something. Looks like he's just going to back away here. Not really being able to find anything, and that's a pretty big resource to be spending so early on.
Yeah, it does have a fairly long cooldown early on. I do want to just quickly touch on that combo with the Gragas there. Got the knockback into the Jinx, who put the traps down, did not actually hit the traps, but most importantly, Kyrian was there with the silence on top, so Brand could not flash away and then got rooted in place. So Brand had no response there other than trying to flash the early barrel coming out.
Yeah. So really, really well played by the red team for sure. I mean, excuse me. This game is already shaping up to be pretty good for the red side, who once again picked another snowbally kind of wants to get to the late game kind of comp.
Yeah, and getting Jinx and Viego those kills early on is exactly what you want to see. We'll see how this goes later and later on, but right now you can see the poke in response onto this Brand. It is just already at a point where Soraka can just kind of do whatever she wants.
Yeah, and it's going to be really hard to apply those grievous wound stacks to kind of just deny the healing here. Like, it's good in trades, but Kai'Sa is pretty short range. It's not like she's able to harass as much as, say, a Caitlyn maybe.
Yep. It's also possible just to back off so that you just let the grievous wounds die off and then get the healing down. So this definitely is something that they can work around, and Panda Hitman basically needs to be able to... Honestly, if I'm Brand at this point, I'm looking to get my jungler down here, get a flash EQ-W combo, and just try and blow up this Jinx.
Yeah, Boomstick looking for an engage onto Edda and Edgy there, but he did pop his sadism and is able to get away. Empire for Hire just trying to get away in the mid lane here. It looks like he's pretty successful. Once again, this getting a little bit of a slow tick here, a little bit of a slow time. Everyone's calmed down, and it looks like it's nap time for everyone in Summoner's Rift.
I do enjoy nap time in League of Legends.
Yeah, I do enjoy nap time as well. It's great.
Games.
Yeah.
Usually when I am trying to roam.
Yeah. Usually you only get nap time between games. But, now we're just getting nap time in game.
They're optimizing it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's really what better thing to optimize in life? Like, there's some people who like to min-max Dungeons and Dragons. There are some people who, are min-maxing League of Legends. But really, you want to be min-maxing nap time for sure.
Speaking of min-maxing, Empire for Hire getting a great trade there in that mid lane, forcing the Fate Sealed out of Beyond Plus Ultra. So that is going to be down for this next dragon fight. And that is really going to be hard for Yone to actually do anything. I feel like if I am Indiana University, I am just saying we got to give this. We have to give this second dragon because we have nothing in the tank to be able to stop them from taking it.
Yeah, and it's really hard to really kind of get any sort of priority here to like make sure the waves are pushing in their favor so that
Yep.
yeah,
Everyone's losing.
yeah, every lane is losing. It's going to be really hard to go for these neutral objectives. And what's worse about this is that, we said this a billion times. That, Ed and Edgy getting caught out here. He's already taken a decent chunk of damage. That's going to be the ultimate coming down from Empire for Hire. And that is a jungler down and a dragon up. So that might be what they're looking for. Darth Reptar looking for a baby horse on the top side here, but he's going to pull in the clone. Looks like he's just going to back away, and that dragon is going to go over to the red team.
Yeah, Mundo not off the ground yet, not able to take these kinds of fights, and plus the ignite being popped will just take Mundo down very, very easily. Easy dragon pickup. And yeah, Beyond Plus Ultra gets a little poke onto Soraka, but like you can see without the Fate Seal, not able to really do a whole lot about it.
Yeah, and they are going to pop Rift Herald mid. That is very, very important play there, as it is going to unlock Viego if Shelly is able to take out this turret here. But that is a lot of plates. That's a lot of plates.
Yeah, and it's important they used it now. 13 minutes on the clock. Will see plates fall in under a minute, so they want to get that gold. They want to use it before the plates fall so they get the extra gold, not just onto Boomstick, but onto Viego as well for being in the vicinity. And now they are looking for this dive possibly, or Boomstick just wants to be around in case there is some attention brought to this top side.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really advantageous for Darth Reptar to just continue to pressure in, especially since that tower right there was nearly down to the last bit of HP bar for that particular plate. So he's going to pick up just a little bit more gold for himself, as this lead from the Crab Ducks here just continues to get out of control. Nearly 4,000 gold separates these two teams.
Yeah, and this is purely just off of lanes, really. There's been a little bit of jungle attention. Panda Hitman now does not get the bounce off it.
Yeah, that's pretty big. Kaisa does get the ultimate here. She's going to dash forward, but she's going to dash right into Soraka here. The Jinx is taken incredibly low. The passive is going to proc. But let's see if they're going to be able to turn this around. Talenko is looking for something on the legendary pleb. They're going to be able to find the takedown here. And now Kyrian is the focus here. You don't have a whole lot of damage. The Q comes down. The barrier comes out. He's tanking minions as well. But that's going to be Kyrian picking up a kill. Oh, 1-for-1 in the bot lane. Oh, man, you hate to see it.
That's majorly favorable, though, for Talenko. Despite dying there, that is still really, really good because Legendary Pleb went down, gave that bonus 250 gold over to Kaisa. That, honestly, Legendary Pleb, just run, dude. Just do not try and fight that. Your Soraka does not have points of the W yet, is not able to heal you, 1, consistently, 2, for a large amount of damage. It is not very effective at this point. It is used mainly just to get the poke damage back up, or the poke damage off of you, so you can keep pressuring this lane. In full-on fights, it is not effective yet. So Legendary Pleb misplaying that a little bit, I feel, but does get a great kill onto the brand just before that happens.
Yeah, and it is really important to be picking up these kills here for yourself. Panda Hitman, there was a change to brand a fairly long time ago, meaning that his ultimate could bounce off of brand. But oh my god, Empire for Hire, so much damage onto Beyond Plus Ultra here, but I don't think that damage is enough. I don't think that ignite is enough, but looks like this might be the go button for the blue team. Ed Energy coming in from the side. He already has that speed boost. He's diving on top of Jinx here, but Jinx is already going to be able to use a huge amount of return damage here. That's going to be Kaisa dashing forward. There's the body slam after the flash. He's going to be able to get 2 knockups. Ed Energy so low, but he's healing up so much. Meanwhile, on the top side, Kaisa is going to be able to keep fighting Kyrian here, but here comes the teleport in for the red team here. They're looking for the turnaround onto Talenko. That's going to be Mordekaiser coming in, but that's going to be the kill going over to Gragas. A 3 for 2 in favor of Crab Ducks.
Do not TP in on that. Darth Reptar, you just gave away all your lane pressure. You can see Baby Horse pushing that top side now. That is not a TP you want to use, because now look at all the damage getting done here. Lots of free farm will help catch Baby Horse up. However, the actual fight itself going really, really favorably for Crab Ducks. They got the brand, they got the Kaisa. They absolutely were just pushing way too far forward, did not respect where Boomstick was on the map. I Ed and Edgy, this is something I see. Oh, we'll get into it. Goodbye.
Panda Hitman is going to be the next kill for the Taken King. He might actually take Brand here. Oh, yeah, he's going to pick him up, but that's going to mean Tlenko is going to be able to take down Viego here, and that is going to be not the best pickup here. Gonna give Tlenko a little bit of time, but it looks like he might be the target here. Legendary Play going a little bit too far forward as Ed and Edgy comes in from around the corner. They're going to be able to find the shutdown onto Jinx. Now Kyrian is the target here. Ed and Edgy has pasta sadism, so he is very, very fast. Boomstick coming in. There's the explosive cast going to save Kyrian for now, but will Baby Horse be able to get forward? That's going to be the knockup. That's going to be the slow. Can they find it? Kyrian is so very low. That's going to be he's going to jive under turret here. That's going to be the ultimate, but now he's stunned underneath. There's not enough damage. Baby Horse going down. Now Ed and Edgy is now being able to turn this around. No, Boomstick, no! Boomstick is going to be able to find the kill here. Oh my god, a 2 for 2.
Yeah, but importantly, Kaisa is getting more of these kills. Got the Viego. The Jinx did go down again, so is kind of floundering that lead a little bit. But yeah, just back and forth, blow for blow from these teams now. With all that happened, it should mean that Boomstick has the pressure on this dragon. The smite is down for Indiana University. This will be sole point now if they get this.
Yeah, and Earth Drake is a very, very powerful dragon. If you're ahead, it's up there with Infernal Drake, that if you pick it up and you are ahead, it's going to be a lot harder for the opposing team to win team fights against you. So definitely huge.
It's also important to note, too, in that dive, we saw how little damage Wukong is really able to do with this tank build. Has the Sunfire and just dove under the tower, hit the Cyclone. And if that was a generally, built, just what Wukong normally builds, the Stride Breaker or even stuff like the Triforce or something, like, that's a lot more damage coming through. Unfortunately, the full tank build means that Cyclone does nothing. It is just there for the knockup, essentially.
Yeah, it's there, and you get a little bit more damage on your Sunfire Aegis. I won't count it out too much, right? You do have a lot of CC from Wukong here, but it really is dependent on you landing that knockup and dealing a decent chunk of damage with that by itself. Definitely agree. This dank Wukong build, definitely not the greatest.
It is going from dank to stank very, very quickly. And we are going to have to see how it is going to scale into the late game. But
oh, yeah, that's Boomstick getting caught out here. Tlenko is already taken very, very low here. That's going to be ultimate from Yone, going to gather them all up, but they are all going down. Ed and Edgy forced to pop his ultimate here to survive as he gets away. Empire for Hire looking for something. They're not going to be able to find anything else, but this might be the go button to go and grab Baron.
Yep. Yeah, this should be Baron. Ed and Edgy is low health, has to back. Tlenko just got back into base. They take this very quickly with Jinx and Viego alongside the Mordekaiser. This is going to be a free Baron here. And just going back to that fight, the Fate Sealed that Beyond Plus Ultra hit was really, really good. But Tlenko was already out of the fight. Got bursted down by Boomstick. While they did not get the kill on the Kaisa, there was no damage coming from the Kaisa in that fight, which meant that Beyond Plus Ultra hitting that meant absolutely nothing because you only have a tank Wukong and a Mundo that are trying to follow up on it.
Yeah, and not to mention, there's not a whole lot of damage on their team. Like we said, like, the Sunfire Aegis on the Wukong means that even if Baby Horse had gone into that team fight, he's really only worth the ultimate in terms of damage. And, if there's no damage to follow up big CC ultimates, he's really not getting anything done.
Oh my lord, Tlenko, you need to be more careful, buddy. You are taking a lot of damage and you do not have any healing. Yeah, and look, this brand's still working on that mythic. That is the downside of going for these supports now. The mythics are super expensive on a support budget.
Yeah, Boomstick coming in here, trying to look for something, not going to be able to find the explosive cask. But Jinx is going to be able to find a kill for herself with a rocket splash damage onto Brand. Oh my lord.
Yeah, and this is what this composition can do. When you start getting ahead, it snowballs super hard. The resets off the Viego, the resets off the Jinx. Once those champions start getting items and get ahead of their opponents, they can push that lead so hard, and that's what we're seeing here.
Yeah, not to mention that Darth Reptar was able to find a sneak kill onto the last Rift Herald of the map, and oh my god, Beyond Plus Ultra. Oh no, Boomstick gonna dive in just a little too deep here. He's taking a bunch of damage, but here comes Soraka in from the side in order to heal him up just a little bit. Now they're focusing the rest of the team. Empire for Hire is gonna find a kill into the Mundo here, as now the red team is now poising for the probably ending the game here. The blue team has to make something happen. Empire for Hire not really going to find anything just yet. Brand looking for a stun, going to get a decent chunk of damage onto Baby Horse while he's inside the mist. Baby Horse is very low here. They're trying to take down Empire for Hire before he goes down, but they're not going to be able to find it. Now they are. Now he has the Wukong. The Wukong has been taken. Beyond Plus Ultra looking for something here. He's not going to be able to find anything as the 5 members of the red team are going to continue to take down this base, continue their win streak, and move on to game 3 with 2-0.
Yeah, and this one was just a complete and utter stomp from beginning to finish. The only bright spots were like a couple of over engages that Crab Ducks tried to go on in that bot side. They got punished for. But outside of that, like top lane 1-0-2 for Darth Reptar with a massive CS differential in the 15-minute mark. Jungle 5-0-2 on Boomstick. Mid lane was just completely in control for Empire for Hire, and Eda and Edgy had no opportunity to get into any of these lanes to make for a gank because they just were so behind the entire time. They would lose the 2v2 every single time if they tried to go for a gank.
Yeah, it really is a kind of upsetting here because they have picked just multiple. Indiana University has tried so hard to kind of shut down this early game to the best of their ability with their draft, but they haven't really been able to execute on that idea enough in game. But we are going to take just a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be up into game 3 of Indiana University East versus the Crab Ducks. This is match point for Crab Ducks here. Will they be able to close out the series, or will Indiana University East be able to reverse sweep? Let's see if we'll have to play. Let's see if we'll have to play Silver Scrapes. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports Season 6 playoffs. We are in Game 3 of Crab Ducks versus Indiana University East. Crab Ducks is on the blue and Indiana University East is on the red. And, oh man, just so many bans coming out that are just trying to ban the things that they don't want to play up against that they've seen in the past 2 games.
Yeah, but they get the Skarner, Crab Ducks. Boomstick on the Skarner will be able to just get that comfort pick. That is the most played jungler for Boomstick, so we're gonna see that come through. The Bear now gonna get on to actually I think we are seeing a bit of a swap up in the players here. T-Link is in mid lane beyond that has to be a mistake. I'm not gonna go into that. Bear getting picked up as well. I like this, getting a little bit more pressure in that Bear possibly in the jungle. Ashe and Janna? Okay.
Interesting. So my thought here is that they're probably just putting tanks into the top and the jungle here. So they're allowing an enchanter into the bot side, but Janna is not one that we see a whole lot. And I believe that is the Swain support coming out, which is a pretty good pick into the Janna here. Janna is typically a counter pick.
Yeah, it is. Janna is not one that you see a whole lot, and she just kind of pokes in lane and then tries to scale up and peel. It is going to be hard to get onto this Ashe here for IU East. Jhin, Swain, though, all it takes is one grab and Swain will basically take away all their health, and Jhin can follow up exceedingly well because of the W root. Viego and Gnar taken off the board now for Crab Ducks, so they're going to be forced into a different mid laner this time around. And we'll see if they, if IU East are going to take their mid here and and counterpick the top, or vice versa.
Yeah, and it really seems like, Warwick here is
actually top Warwick jungle.
Yeah, it's okay. So this is actually pretty big because Eda and Neji, big Warwick player, have been playing him for the past 4 seasons and actually had some pretty relevant success. It's just recently, not having that same amount of success on the Warwick. Only a 46% win rate this season with only 28 games in comparison to like 415 in season 9 and 218 in season 10, both with positive win rates. So this is definitely a very, very comfort pick for Eda and Neji here. So it's definitely will be interesting to see as Echo is now picked up for IU East.
Yeah, so Echo gonna be in the mid lane against this Diana that has been banned away. This entire series has been the second wave, but will be banned away. Alawi gonna be in the top side against the Bear. That is one that, if Bear can start getting ahead, will be really solid for Bear. But Alawi can punish you so very hard. And actually, we are gonna see in this pick and ban, there is a lot of swaps coming in for IU East. They are completely changing their roster around.
Yeah, it looks like they were in order. For Eda and Neji looks like he's in the top. Baby Horse is in the jungle. Slenko is in mid. Beyond plus Ultra is AD carry, and Panda Hitman is in support.
And somebody left.
Alrighty.
All right, so.
All right.
Maybe we were wrong on that one. So
maybe we were wrong, and there was a little bit of just ins and outs here. So we are going to just get that fixed up for y'all real quickly here.
Yeah, we'll have to. That will take a sec because everybody has to swap all around.
Yeah, and
or maybe not.
Okay,
we're just gonna go.
They
we'll
are out of
in game.
Okay, yeah, they are going to be out of order just a little bit. It's gonna be it's gonna bother me for like a split second, and then I'll probably get over it. But I did want to talk about this Alawi versus Bear in the top lane. That seems like a matchup we don't see very often.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, the Bear, it is a bit of a skill matchup. Bear can win that lane, but it has to play it correctly. Alawi is as always, known for punishing lanes if you misplay into her. Whenever you play against Alawi, you have to play her game, which is playing around her grab. If she gets your soul, you are going to take a bunch of damage. You are possibly going to have to run away as the tentacles are running you down. However, if the E misses from the Alawi, it is going to be a very, very potent time for Volibear to go in and grab this Alawi and just punch her down. Sorry, it is getting a little haywire. Everybody's picking the wrong champions in Champ Select.
You know, picking champions is very hard. You know, sometimes your fingers get tired. Sometimes you mouse over Vigar instead of, you know, Janna or Alawi. I don't know.
It's concerned me that like these players are like, yeah, we're a competitive team. We also cannot click on champion portraits in the client. Like that is not what you want to see going into a 5-game series into playoffs. So we'll see if nerves are getting the better of them. But
yeah.
One thing that does concern me about Crabduck's composition, if Alawi does fall behind, if Diana does fall behind, the amount of damage Crabducks have is very, very low. One of those two really needs to pop off, preferably the Diana, because Alawi cannot do as much with her lead as Diana can.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. It's just going to be very hard to really, like, I agree that they need to pop off, but like Crabducks has been showing that they can time and time again in these games, and I don't know how much of it is IU East just kind of letting Crabducks have it. You know what I mean? Just there's a lot of times.
Baby Horse has the Volibear.
Yes.
Baby Horse is going jungle.
Yeah. I don't look. They already said they were out of order, and
no, but they were out of order. They were in order going into the first one. Into the first champ select, meaning Ed and Edgy is the top laner, just is at the bottom of the pick order.
I think they're still out of order because it was a bit of, so Ed and Edgy left the lobby and then rejoined, putting them all the way at the bottom, and then they didn't fix the out of order.
Ed and Edgy is the top laner. Ed and Edgy is getting the Warwick.
I don't know if that's right.
I think it is, and I'm going to assume that it is, and that actually completely changes that top lane matchup. That can really, really be tough for Alawi to deal with, because the damage is going to come out so consistently. One wrong move is going to be very, very punished, as opposed to Volibear, where it's a little bit more telegraphed that you're going in. The Warwick can kind of just queue in, like, fear, set up this gank potential coming in. It is going to be really, really tough to deal with. That said, Boomstick on the Skarner, the comfort champion. Skarner very, very strong right now. And looking at this team, there are a couple of people that are really, really going to be important to grab. Tilenko, you grab Tilenko, cannot use the ultimate, cannot warp back and get to safety, will be able to be killed before that goes off. The Jhin and the Swain, preferably the Jhin, grabbed, will be very, very important too, because when you pull Jhin out of position, he is just in a real, real rough position to be in.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be pretty hard for Jhin to escape. I mean, you don't really have a whole lot of other good targets really to grab on Skarner either. I think it's really just the Jhin. If Echo hasn't used his ultimate, which a lot of Echo players will use pretty sparingly, like, it'll be hard to really lock down the Echo. It's really your only opportunity to damage him, especially when I just suspect anyone who's an Echo player to just be spamming that R key while they're suppressed.
Yeah. Diana here as well. This is going to be a bit rough early on, as most Diana matchups are. However, Diana does have so much burst damage when she goes in, and has access to that ultimate. When you get into these team fights here, not only do they have the opportunity to make a pick Diana very good at facilitating that with Skarner ultimate. You also have the opportunity for Diana to go in, hit an ultimate, pop everybody together, and have a Lowy follow up on that with a Soul Grab ultimate combo as well. So there is some fluidity to the composition that Crab Ducks have put themselves together. I like that. It feels like IU has kind of put a composition that is stronger in lane, but if we see another lane kingdom again, once again, the composition from Crab Ducks is just overall more cohesive and stronger.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see how this match plays out. We are going to take just a quick break, and when we return, we will be on the Summoner's Rift with the Crab Ducks versus Indiana University East. This is game 3 and match points, so a very important match for y'all to watch. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more League of Legends right after this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Style Esports Season 6 playoffs. We are on the Rift with IU East versus Crab Ducks, and we might have a bit of an engage at level 1 here. Swain comes in, is going to land the Slayer. They're going to be able to find the kill on the Ashe, level 1, and this is what IU East have been needing. They've been needing this early aggression to stop this snowball, and this might be the start that they needed.
Yeah, Swain using the Ignite. So we'll not have that for the lane phase. Interesting to see the Relic Shield on the Swain, actually. Not looking to go for the poke back and forth. I don't think that's really ideal, because when I am playing Swain, I'm looking to just almost always trade, unless it's like a super disadvantageous matchup where you can actually scale up better. Like, you need to grab people to get souls. If you're not grabbing people, you're not going to get souls. You're not going to scale up into the late game. It's almost assumed that you're going to take Spell Thief's Edge. It is just all around better. On top of that, has the mana regen, which is really, really effective. So we'll see how that works out. But just off the bat, that is a little concerning for me.
Yeah, it's for sure interesting, and it's also interesting to see the grasp of the Undying onto Warwick here. Typically, Warwicks like to go into the yellow tree and press the attack. Especially really important for them to pick a last stand. But it will
Yeah,
be interesting to see how this plays out.
this
Would be
is
better for
more of
laning.
a yeah. This is a lane Warwick thing. You take the grasp, it makes your trading really good because you can just build that grasp up, chomp them, heal a bunch, and then ooh,
Oh
more
yeah, that's
damage.
a great snare onto legendary pleb here, taking them to about half HP. And Swain Jin, not exactly known for their level 2, but certainly very powerful start already.
Yeah, not even level 2 yet, but mid lane is also getting very skirmish heavy, which is gonna favor that Echo, I believe, as just the wave control that Echo has and the ability to farm from range. Really gonna be helping Echo out.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we wanted to see from Indiana University. Like, I believe we were talking,
Oh,
ooh, that's going to be a great snare. They're still rooted. That's a huge amount of damage and forced to flash away. Kyrian is going to use the best of their ability to try to keep away this Beyond Plus Ultra, who's still looking for that fourth shot. So much damage onto Kyrian here. Might force the back from both. Meanwhile, in the top lane, that's going to be Ed and Edgy. Not having the best time against this Alawi.
yeah, we'll heal up okay with that Q there. The chomp is gonna help out Warwick a lot. Will keep you nice and healthy as well as the passive. So not a huge deal. Kind of
Mm,
expected. What you do is you just kind of you get your first item or two as Warwick top, and you kind of just basically become unkillable.
uh-huh.
Very strong in that aspect, but for right now, Alawi will be able to just do what she wants, and that
Mm,
should enable Skarner to be able to do what he wants.
yeah.
This Volibear does not have the clear speed. They will be healthy, but Skarner will be able to get around the map a lot easier than Volibear will.
Yeah, Ed and Edgy not really being able to contest this spirit as well as he can, especially so far behind and so far away from the spirit as well. So he's just once again a hard time. Panda Hitman, level 2 against this level 4 Skarner in his zone as well. Be able to find something here, but Tlenko, meanwhile, in the mid lane, is going to be dealing a decent chunk of damage on Empire for hire here. He's running towards his jungler, but that's also
Ollie
running towards
Flash.
Baby Horse as well. That's going to be the flash. That's going to be the lightning storm. That's going to be the kill going over to Tlenko in the mid lane.
Yeah, very solid there. The trading from Echo working out favorably. Diana does need that ultimate to really get a solid trade down. And Echo, in the meanwhile, will be able to just punch the crap out of this Diana. Is going Hail of Blades, interestingly.
Yeah,
Did not
very.
expect that one.
I mean, it is pretty powerful on those 3 hit on those champions that
Yeah.
need to get those 3 auto attacks. So certainly very well played by Tlenko so far. Is definitely giving him that early pressure that he needs.
Yeah, so far, Indiana University looking a lot better this game.
Yeah.
Have control of this bot lane, not in terms of wave, but in terms of trading patterns. They are doing much better. And Legendary Pleb kind of just constantly playing on the back foot, trying to
Yeah,
stay
it's
alive.
yeah, it's really starting to work out in their favor. I mean, I think I mentioned this before, but we also talked about it in between games that like if Indiana University just keeps letting the Crab Ducks go into these snowbally comps and win in lane, then it's just going to be really hard for them to win the series if that's how it's going to continue to go. And they've kind of drafted another snowbally kind of comp here, and if they're able to get ahead, if they're able to get this lead early, they might be able to continue that streak. And looking how it is in the top lane, and how even it is in the how close it is in the mid, like it might turn out that same way again.
Yeah, I mean, this is a point right now where Echo's going to be super duper strong. The Hextech Alternator is on to Echo, will mean that the damage trades will be just so blisteringly powerful on this Echo. And Diana only has a dagger in return. So basically, any trade that Echo goes for, gonna be better.
Ooh, they might have found the damage on Kyrian here. That's a huge chunk of burst damage here. Tlenko is coming in for the mid lane here. Panda Hitman is going to go down to that ignite. And that's going to be another kill to beyond plus ultra as he picks up just another kill for himself in the bot side there. At an edgy forced to fight the Alawi here, but doesn't look like a trade that he wants as he's going to find himself. Oh man, even teleported back to lane 2. Baby Horse is now in the mid lane trying to fight this Diana, but might even get away. Throws a little bit of BM emote spam in there as well. But I don't know if you should emote spam them getting away. He didn't even take that much damage either.
Yeah, Warwick struggling in this lane right now. Is surviving, but is basically only doing that. Has the early pleated steel caps. Not sure if that's what you need there. I think Bramble Vest would be very, very good here at keeping the healing down from this Alawi.
Yeah. Man, this Alawi hasn't backed yet, and this Warwick has backed and used teleport, and he's still hugging his turret.
Alawi
oh, yeah.
back.
No, yeah. She has back. She has a fade. You're right. Ooh, Edda and Nenny maybe looking for an in here, but that's going to be the ultimate from Deathkeeper here. She's going to be suppressed underneath turret! Oh, man, that was the turnaround Edda and Edgy was looking for.
That was just not good. Like, not only using the Alawi ult without grabbing the soul, which it is so much less effective when you do not have a soul out. The tentacles do not slam automatically unless there is a soul for them to hit. So if you don't have a soul, it is only going, those tentacles only going to slam when you hit your W. So hits the slam, does not have the soul out, and then goes too far forward, gets hit by the Warwick ulti, and basically just dies under tower. Big misplay in the only lane they had winning.
Yeah, and that's going to be Baby Horse using his ultimate in the bot lane here. Really close to making something happen, but not close enough. Not close enough. We're going to end it there.
You are getting paid to speak right now. That is
I don't get paid by the
true.
word.
That's true. Thank God.
God. Could you imagine? I would never shut up.
That's true. And I would be trying to talk over you the entire time. Because that would mean I was also getting paid by the word.
Hey, Carl, can we make that happen?
Yeah.
Carl, I gotta know. Carl? Are we getting paid by the word here? Carl? Oh, man. So, ooh, that's going to be Enchanted Crystal Arrow coming across. That's going to be a stun. Oh, man, that's so much CC onto Swain here. He doesn't have that much healing yet. He's going to immediately go down to the Legendary Pleb. Ooh.
Great actuality, and that's one they needed to get. They needed some kind of pressure going in for them, and that Ashe ult will get them that kill. And a good follow-up there. That one, from a standpoint of what went wrong, just lack of respect on that Ashe ulti.
Yeah, for sure. Here comes Baby Horse into the mid lane here. He's going to force a flash away from the Skarner. Looks like that's going to be good enough for him.
Yep. Flash down on Skarner is always important. And will mean that the engage potential on this Skarner is going to be going way down. Because without the flash ulti, you basically are going to be seen running up to somebody.
Yeah, and it is also important to note that Skarner is fighting the Rift Herald right now. Directed Camera doesn't like the Rift Herald for some reason, so that is going to be a pretty big, substantial pickup for his team here, especially with so many turrets pushed in here. But it's like Dark Reptar is going to be forced to fight Ed and Edgy here. He has popped the ultimate, but it doesn't look like it's going to be any more damage. Here comes the Suppress down on top of Ed and Edgy here. Reptar once again.
What are you
underneath
doing?
Turret, taking too much damage, is gonna go down once again to this Warwick on the top lane.
Consistently, Darth Reptar just does not seem to grasp how to use this ult. Uses it as the soul is basically about to die, and then walks into the tower, starts tanking tower aggro, and then dies.
Oh, yeah. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Empire for Hire is taken incredibly low here. That's going to be the Echo ultimate finding the kill. That's going to be the Volley Bear ultimate jumping over the wall looking for the kill on the Skarner. But Skarner is very fast. Not even Warwick can catch up to him. Looks like they're just going to back away after picking up a couple kills from themselves.
I feel like I'm watching a team implode in real time. Like, there's so many mistakes that we just did not see come through for Crab Ducks here. Like, the bot lane has been doing okay, but did get caught out, has been taking a lot of extra shots that they were not doing before. This top lane, the Alawi just does not seem to be the champion for Darth Reptar. Mid lane, Empire for Hire, I don't know why you're trying to engage on this Echo. You're already behind, and you aren't a champion that can 1v1 Echo really ever.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also just starting to be like this is the opportunity. This is the hiccup that IU has been looking for this whole time. Like, they have been pretty far behind, especially this Warwick in the top lane, but getting this kind of tempo and getting this kind of lead early. Oh no, Talenko. Just a chunk of damage on Empire here, but Kyrian and Boomstick are here in response. They're going to pop the Rift Herald, but here comes the rest of the red team. They're going to find the stun on the Boomstick here. They're going to CC him up for a very long time. He's going to find the suppress on the Volibear, but that's not a whole lot of damage to follow up on. Here comes the curtain call. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not going to land onto anyone, and Kyrian is going to get away just okay. A 1 for 0, but that's going to be a huge chunk of damage onto that mid lane turret with that Rift Herald.
Yeah, didn't track that bot lane too well because both Jhin and Swain followed up. The ultimate from Skarner went on to Volibear, so not really helpful, and just kind of wasted a little bit of time. Kyrian now getting a little caught.
Yeah, Talenko using that mobility that Echo has to a great ability, but that's going to be the Alawi ultimate. That's going to be the channel, and Edgy has already healed up so much, but that's going to be the shutdown onto Alawi here. Talenko uses his ultimate, but he's not going anywhere anytime soon. That's going to be the shutdown for Ashe onto Echo, and a shutdown on Warwick for the Alawi.
Yeah, and that's what you need to see. Oh, we are not done, though.
Oh, yeah, Kyrian is looking for more here, but Ashe is going to immediately peel away through the Tri-Brush here. Looks like he still wants a little bit more. They might be able to find it. They are very slow. Boomstick is coming in from the side here. He is blocked by minions. Oh yeah, he's just going to show up and make them back away all the way to the tower. Yeah, they can't really sneak anything just there. The red team did pick up an Ocean Drake for themselves, and now it is a Mountain Soul for this map. And once again, very good Drake if you're a good Dragon Soul if you are ahead.
Yeah, and I do want to touch on this top lane despite the 2 deaths. Oh, what are you doing here, Pleb?
Oh, no. Okay, Pleb not being snared up here. It could be very important. The ultimate from Volibear is not going to land not going to stun up the turret, but they are going to be able to get pulled by the Swain here. It is more yeah, there's going to be TP coming in from Warwick here. No, oh, yeah, that's Alawi. Okay, here they come. They're looking for something here. It is a 1v3. That's going to be the flash. They're going to be able to find the stun. There's the suppress. They're going to be able to maybe find the kill here. There comes the soul out, and their ultimate has been popped. They're looking for something here. That's going to be the stun again onto Edge, and Eddie, and they're going to be able to find a decent chunk of damage. Here comes the Janna ultimate to heal just a little bit, but the red team is just cleaning house right now. That's going to be the stun from Volibear, knock up from the tornado. Diana is here, but you are too little, too late. The rest of the team, the suppress underneath the turret. Empire for Hire, forced to flash away. That's going to be the ultimate, pulling them in close. Going to be able to find 1 kill for themselves. Enchanted Crystal Arrow coming across, going to dodge. And then Talenko is not going to fall this time, but that is a 4 for 1 in favor of IU, Indiana University East.
And that was just such a poor fight call from Crab Ducks. Like, I don't know why you're trying to teleport in there as Alawi with no ultimate. You don't want to team fight as Alawi without your ult. You are not useful without your ultimate in a 4v4, 5v5 setting. But that is not at all what you want to do. It baited in Boomstick, who only had the opportunity to really ult onto the Swain. They did get the Swain, but they blew all of that onto Swain. The rest of it, the team was coming down. Echo was able to walk down before Diana got there, and then everyone just gets wiped because there's nothing left in the tank.
Yeah, and that's a lot of resources to try to really grasp. I mean, that 1v3 from Alawi looked promising. I was like, okay, Alawi might have a chance to 1v3. Alawi is good in instances where she's up against a bunch of enemy heroes. Problem is, without the ult. You're right. Exactly. No ultimate. And that is a huge part of your team fighting power, like you said. Without it, Alawi is dead in the water.
Now here is one you can turn around if they try and engage on this.
Yeah, they're going to use the ultimate pretty early, though. Boomstick is going to find out Beyond Plus Ultra. That's going to be the shutdown that Ash is looking for. But Darth Reptar, once again, using this ultimate just very, very early in this 1v2 here means that Baby Horse might be able to re-engage.
It did chunk him down. So it did chunk him down, which just negates the opportunity to really fight this. And now Empire for Hire is not seen.
Oh, yeah. No,
Nice.
no. Baby Horse going to immediately go down. Talenko's coming in from the side here. Panda Hitman also here for support. John Ultimate is going to keep him alive for just a little bit longer, but he's going to go down. Now, the Alawi is in the middle of this fight. They don't have their ultimate once again, but they are going to be able to find the kill here. And now Talenko is going to be the last one standing as Ash finds a kill for themselves, and that's going to be just another kill. And when we thought that Indiana University had something in their pockets, had some sort of winning structure into this game, they have now lost another team fight.
Yeah, and now they're looking to try and dive this. This is going to be really, really important because Crab Ducks have the Rift Herald is going to get that last charge there. Oh, ooh. Good stop. Yeah. Very important. We'll keep that the inhibitor tower safe. Dragon coming up in about 22 seconds. This is a bit awkward because the resets are coming through. They're gonna get there, but it is going to give the opportunity here with that teleport to give Boomstick. Boomstick,
no,
buddy.
Boomstick.
No.
Yeah, you might be caught out here. He's stunned. He's snared. He's stunned again. Boomstick gonna use the suppression, trying to pull him towards Darth Reptar. It looks like they're just going to back away. Darth Reptar and deal as much damage as he can onto Talenko's soul, but it's not going to be enough here. He's going to get away. Now it's going to be a 4v5. No smite on the blue side here to try to contest this dragon. That's going to put the red team onto soul point here.
And the Hitman is low, so we'll have to be very careful. Moonstone is on to Janna, which gives a lot of extra healing.
Yeah, Darth Reptar going to be able to deal a decent chunk of damage onto the ghost here. Here comes the ultimate. That's a great one already, but they're already outside the ultimate. That's a huge chunk of damage onto Ed and Edgy here. You're gonna find the ultimate onto Legendary Pleb, but they're going to immediately go down. Now it's look like the fight is onto Baby Horse here. He's taken very low. This ultimate is not going to be able to save him, and now all that's left is the red side bot lane team, and they're going to back away as the Earth Drake, the Mountain Drake, goes over to Crab Ducks, their first dragon of the game. Yeah,
they do get that, and Boomstick being down did not seem to matter. Unfortunately, Ed and Edgy did not respect the Alawi ultimate. Went into it, despite the fact that the soul was gone. The amount of
Yeah. I have a bit of a DC here. We should be back in this again, which gives you more time to talk. Yeah. We are paid by the word. So go for it. Go for
okay.
It.
So so what I was saying, as you know, but you put me on the spot here. So in that fight, Ed and Edgy went in, and despite the fact that the soul was not there, there was a great W onto the Warwick, and all those tentacles converged onto Warwick in one spot. Basically took Warwick out of the fight almost immediately, making it a 4v4, but also remember Panda Hitman was already low, so that is now a 4v3. The numbers advantage has suddenly, because of that one ultimate that didn't look too impressive ultimately, right? Ultimate. Yep. Okay. Well, it didn't look that impressive at the forefront. Suddenly became really good because it accomplished a really big thing in the space of that team fight. You then had Empire for Hire able to run them down with no more Warwick and no Swain. A lot of the front line was down. Talenko was forced to run into a bunch of people. Baby Horse could not tank enough for his team, and it cost them the dragon.
Yeah, for sure. And it's going to be really hard to kind of just you really got to respect these abilities here. I think Darth Reptar is currently playing a champion they're not 100% on. It was banned a couple times away from them, but I'm starting to question why. They had the Alawi banned away from them game one. Oh, Talenko coming in here. Let's see. Okay, here comes the baseball. Here comes the stun zone. Not going to be able to stun anyone, but that's going to be the root on to Kyrian here from the Jhin, but that's going to be the teleport in from Alawi as well. The teleport is being matched by the Warwick here. It's now a 4v3 in this bot lane. That's going to be the Enchanted Crystal Arrow hitting Tlenko here. And Edgy has popped his W. He's looking for something here. Who comes Baby Horse coming in from the side? That is going to be huge. That's going to be the Alawi ultimate coming down there, healing. Now there, that's a huge shield from the Janna. That is absolutely insane. But the Warwick damage is going to be able to find the shutdown here. Kyrian is now standing. That's the second shot of curtain call. The third, the fourth.
Nice.
They're finally going to be able to get away. But a 1-for-1 in the bot lane. And while everyone is down there, Empire for Hire picks himself up an inhibitor turret.
Yeah, this is great. That was a 3v4 with the teleports included, and they went 1-for-1. Meanwhile, Boomstick pushing in the top lane, not terribly great, but does get the job done. And more importantly, Empire for Hire shoving in this mid lane takes down the inhibitor tower. I believe that was full health when we last saw it getting hit. So Empire for Hire getting a lot of work done, and just to go 1-for-1 in that type of situation where you put all of those resources into that bot lane, that is not good.
Yeah, and not to mention they didn't really find the shutdown gold they were looking for. Ashe does have a bounty on their head, and if they had found that kill, it probably would have been a lot more worth. You know, 250 gold is nothing to sneeze at, especially when folks are still trying to finish their second or even in some case third item. So it should be, I think we're both in agreement here that not exactly the engagement they were looking for.
Well, it's also just the fact that they chased so deep into an Alawi is troubling, because that is something that is a basic known factor about Alawi. You don't chase into her as a full group, because she will grab the soul, immediately ult, and turn that fight around. She can legitimately 1v5 in those scenarios, and the fact that they kept going into that without respecting the push power in the other lanes, and without respecting the power that Alawi has in that very specific scenario, that's extremely concerning.
Yeah, and I feel like disrespect has been the name of the game over these past 3 games. Not respecting Alawi ultimate, not respecting the amount of damage that Kai'Sa can be doing early. And I feel like that's what a lot of these games have come down to.
Yeah, and there's been ample opportunity to punish this Alawi at the same time. Darthraptor has made a lot of mistakes on this, but the fact that these scenarios are still coming up, they're giving the chance for them to happen. It is really just concerning from a playoff team.
Yeah, and not to mention, this is the finals as well. This is the finals for the bracket before the grand finals, so it should be, really concerning to see at this stage of the playoffs.
Right now, we're seeing the pressure. Right now, Echo has to back. They have to respect the Baron take potential here. Empire for Hire is the one in the bot side, though. Cannot stay there because does not have the teleport.
Oh, just getting a bunch of free damage onto Panda Hitman here.
Goodbye, quarter of your HP.
Yeah, Jesus.
This is also just really, really scary because the Ashe ultimate can come out from anywhere. They can't have eyes on Ashe the entire time. This is going to be another 30 seconds on the dragon, which I think is going to be the call for Crab Ducks. They want to start getting these dragons and make sure that that soul point never comes on.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to set up a bit of a death brush here.
Oh, don't do that. That gives you away.
Yeah, that gives you away. Boomstick immediately having to leave. Baby Horse looking for something on the front end here. All right, the shot is not going to come across. Oh, they're going to immediately find the Echo here. Tlenko forced to back away immediately. That's going to be the flash away from Empire for Hire. Baby Horse is now in the center here. He's only going to find one person with that ultimate. That's going to be the Alawi ultimate coming across here. Now Ed, and Edgy is trying to find the Ashe here, but they're not able to do so. They're able to collapse very, very hard here. 5 members are now on this Drake. That's going to be the second Earth Drake for them in this game. Oh no!
Oh, that feels bad.
Don't even shoot anymore. You gotta turn it off, buddy.
Just to go home. Time to go home. Take a nap.
I mean, yeah, and with that, I mean, this is a very easy Baron call as well. I think there's 2 members down on the enemy team. They have to respawn. Volibear is still up, but Curtain Call is down. There's a lot of important tools on the members that are alive.
Flash. Yeah, it's an easy Baron call. So let's talk about what happened in that fight.
Yeah.
Very importantly, Baby Horse took a lot of damage early on, was forcing back. Talenko took that opportunity to try and dive in, completely forgot about Skarner ult. Got grabbed by the Skarner ult, pulled in. It did stun Legendary Pleb, but was in the suppression at the same time. Immediately was stuck in 4 people with only one of them being stunned. That is an ult back out just right away if you're Echo. So right off the bat, Talenko has no ultimate, cannot dive safely. And that is a big problem because Ed and Neji, not really useful as a champion right now, to be honest. Like, this Warwick is not performing and not giving you a whole lot, especially because there's no tank stats built.
Yeah.
So it is a Warwick that needs to be a frontliner but has no tank stats.
Yeah.
And that puts all of the burden then onto Volibear, who is not able to do it alone.
Yeah, a lot of the damage from Warwick does come from his kind of bases and being able to do bonus damage while low on HP against low health targets. Like, he doesn't really need to build damage because it's so innately packed into his kit.
You get the Tiamat and that's it, really.
Yeah. You get your Titanic Hydra and then you move on. You get a Dead Man's Plate, you get like a Spirit Visage, and then that's the end of it.
Yeah, it's also important to note that once again, they did hop into this Alawi ultimate, and I get that it is a hard call to just be like, okay, back off. The Alawi ult happened. We have to leave. Like, but you have to respect it. Ooh, good stun.
Yeah, Enchanted Crystal Arrow came down on the Jhin, but the suppression is coming down onto Volibear here. He's going to be the first victim here. The fear is going to land on the 3 people. The CC is there, but the damage is not as the blue team continues to run rampant through IU, and that might be the game as well. Yeah, 4-0 surrender vote from the red team. Indiana University East. They had a great run through their bracket. They won against the 6th and the 2nd seed, but they were not able to stop the Crab Ducks in this 3-0 stomp.
Yeah, and it just got worse and worse throughout the series, too. You look at game 1, which kind of went back and forth. It was a lot of just, push and shove and seeing what came out of it. But as the series went further and further, it seemed like Crab Ducks figured out what worked for them. And IU never figured that out. You could see this last game, they swapped everybody around. They were trying desperately to figure out what is the win condition for us? How do we get into this game or into this series and, pull out some wins? But Crab Ducks consistently were just winning lane. Even when they were making mistakes, they were still able to pull something good out of it. And unfortunately, Indiana University did not have the same in them.
Yeah, agreed. And, this was a lot of games where if Crab Ducks were playing just a very snowbally kind of comp and they were able to get ahead in a lot of these situations, even though they made some mistakes here and there, it seemed like Indiana University was just making bigger mistakes that Crab Ducks were able to capitalize on. Especially, we talk about big mistakes. Immediately the first thing that comes to my mind, and maybe you might be recency bias, but it seems like the biggest mistake was having that 4 versus 3 in the bot lane while having waves being pushed in on your mid and your top.
Yeah, it was not what you want to see. I think it shows a lack of understanding of individual champions and their strengths and weaknesses. Obviously in that situation, and a lot of times you're like, oh, we need to get these kills, we need to get back in the game. I don't disagree with that, but you also have to look at the bigger picture. You have to think about what champion am I chasing down and what can they do if they turn. Too many people think about what you want to do, not what the enemy is trying to do and how to react to that. Because when you just think about what you want to do, you become the Zed that is diving onto the enemy, 80 carry, and then there's a Lulu polymorphing you every time, and you're like, how are we not winning fights? I'm going in I can't get anything done. Well, you gotta wait for the polymorph to come out, then go in. And I didn't see any of that from Indiana University, and I think that is a good point for them to start as they look into what they can improve.
Yeah, for sure. But that's going to do it for us here. Once again, GG's to Crab Ducks. and well played by to Indiana University East. The Crab Ducks are the first place of bracket 5. Congratulations to them. They had a very good run of their bracket, and now they are your champions of bracket 5. And that is going to do it for us at Style Esports. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. And if you haven't already, make sure to press that follow button, because we have League of Legends every day. Amazing matches like this one's, and we are in the finals of all of our brackets for playoffs here. So there's going to be more best of 5s, more great stuff, more great League of Legends to be played here. So if you haven't already, press that follow button, and if you're feeling generous, press that subscribe button as well. We do really appreciate it. But that is going to do it for us here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. That from myself and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you so much. And thank you to Thousand Eyes, my co-caster, and Lil Pony, our producer for this evening. And we'll see you later. Good night, everyone.